I can't believe how many messages I've had from people and subscribers asking where this Thursday night vlog's been. I apologise, I've been incredibly busy. I've had a little bit of a change to the channel, but to everyone who's messaged me about this Thursday night vlog, this upload is for you. Well, I know a lot of you follow me on Facebook, on Twitter as well, and I know obviously a lot of you are quite fully aware of where I've been over the last few weeks. I have been uploading, and if you're a subscriber you'll know that. If you're not a subscriber, just click subscribe and that'll keep you in the link with all the uploads as and when they actually get uploaded. I've been away, as a lot of you know. I've been in Holland. I got a fantastic opportunity to fish the Anglo-Dutch Festival over there. I've never had a chance to fish it before. I got invited to go and stay with Richard Vaughan and Trish and Walt over there, and thank you, a big thank you to them for allowing myself and my dad to stay with them and just kind of take us into their home for the week. My dad loved the trip, I loved the trip. It was just great to go over there. I know a lot of you have already watched the video from that. I did do some filming, and if you haven't already, the link is there for you. I'll also put the link below for you in case you can't access it through that link. It was a fantastic week, really enjoyed it. I wanted to go for the experience. I was told that the actual fishing isn't kind of as varied as it can be in some other countries, like the events in Ireland, but it was certainly quite technical. It was bream fishing, and as with all bream fishing, we found that it can be quite peggy, but I think it's fair to say that there were fish all the way through the length, and I learned a hell of a lot from it. I had a couple of really good days, well, 3 good days if you count the original open match the day before the festival, and then I had a bit of a poor draw on day 1 where I could have caught a few more fish, but instead of just kind of trying to catch 3 or 4 more fish, which in hindsight I should have done, I didn't, because 4 pegs to my right they were getting 1 every single cast. So instead of just chasing 10 kilos, I was actually chasing about 20 or 30 kilos, but it was the first day of the festival. At the time I think I made the right decision to force the peg and try and get more fish there, but in hindsight, as what happens with a lot of festivals is, when you look at how close it is at the end of the festival, you kind of see where you could have picked up 2 or 3 or 4 extra points. So massive learning curve again. Had a fantastic week over there, and it was probably the most casual festival I've ever fished. So like I say, the link's just been above for you, so if you haven't seen that video, please check that out. I've also been out on the bank, even though I haven't been necessarily filming for this channel. I've been out with Matrix. I actually went up to North Yorkshire on a venue I've never seen before, a lake called Semawater. I can't show you too much of that, purely because the actual feature in the video isn't out yet. So when it is out, I will give you an upload on this channel to let you know when and where it is. But that was just a quick taster of how the day went. It was a fantastic day. Obviously the conditions were against us, but as you all know, if you're into your natural venues like I am, and a lot of the subscribers, when the conditions get quite severe like that, that can be the best time to fish them, because that can really wake the fish up, and I think that's what happened that day. I've also spent a few hours on the bank just on my own, just trying some rods out. I've got quite a large array of rods now, all obviously to do different jobs. That's why we have different rods. But it's really been difficult over the last few weeks to kind of find a little bit of time to just kind of go up to a reservoir, take a selection of reels, match them to different rods, try different length shot leaders, try no shot leaders, try different materials shot leaders, try different feeders, different rigs. And I've been up there for 3 sessions now, where I've just gone up there with a load of kit, just a bucket of ground bait, no bait as such, and just been casting, trying different combinations of reels with rods and tips and all that sort of stuff, the kind of stuff you can't really try in matches. And it's just, you need to do things like that. did those things 5-6 years ago when I first got back into my feeder fishing, and you know, you learn so much from it, and it just narrows all your options down as well. So you know, when you go into a match, you know what combination of reel goes with which rod. You don't even really have to think about it, you know. So all that is off your mind, so then that frees up other parts of your mind and your head just to focus on your match. Right, I've had a couple of questions. I'm not going to go through a big Q&A slot because this is just really about touching base. If you've not watched these Thursday night vlogs before, it's just kind of what subscribers have asked me to do, just to kind of check in with you. It breaks the week up a little bit. It lets you know what I've been up to, who I've met along the way, and what kind of matches I've been in. And it also lets you know kind of what I've got coming up as well, and what you might be expecting to see on this channel. Two questions that have appeared from the last couple of videos that I've done. One of the videos was really regarding pellet feeder fishing. I did that catching carp. The link is there for you, and I know a lot of you have already watched that video. And then I also did another one fishing with a pellet feeder, but fishing with it in a slightly different way, in colder water, not necessarily for carp, for anything that swims, and again I'll put that link up there for you. Those two videos are going through lots of different bait tech baits, you know, and just trying different things out, because as you know, when you go to a match you want to take your A game and you want to be using baits that you're 100% confident in, and it's only through sessions like that that you can actually get that confidence with baits, no matter how good and how many results you've seen people achieve with certain baits. Until you use them yourself, if you're like me, I don't always get that confidence unless I've actually caught with them myself, and that's what those sessions were all about. Two of the questions that have come from recent videos this month have really been, one's about a tattle based question, and the other one is really about feeding. On one of the videos that I did where I went out on a session with Matt, the link is there for you, I went out and we fished a cold lake. It was cold water, clear water, and we fished two different lines. And during that video I kind of talk about where we fished one line that's negative and another spot that's positive, and two of the subscribers have just kindly asked, what do you mean by that? Basically what it means is it's purely related to feeding. If you was going to go to a venue where you didn't think you were going to catch much, or you weren't going to get many bites, then you'd feed it quite negative. Now that's the term I use for kind of feeding very, very little. Feeding, you might want to feed it quite often, or you might just want to sit on 15 or 20 minute casts, again still feeding virtually nothing, just a bit of ground bait. It could be just a tiny bit of chop worm, a couple of maggots, anything. When it's hard, that is what I would always refer to as negative. Positive, on the flip side of that, is when you feed a little bit more confidently, where you're expecting a lot of fish to be there, so you obviously want to feed them to keep them there, and B, I would do that as well if I was planning on leaving that area for a while. So if I was going to feed a spot and not go on it for an hour or so, then I'd want to put a little bit of bait there, just so any fish what are in the area will find it, settle on it, obviously feed on it, so that when you do go on it after an hour or 2 hours, then hopefully the fish are going to be a little bit confident and not as cagey, so that you can catch them. And that is what really I refer to by feeding an area that's positive. The other question was really about what I carry in my drawer. I mean, obviously you all know I just about always feed a fish, so that limits a lot of the tattle that I actually need to carry. As regards feeder fishing, you know, we need a selection of feeders. We've got rods and as reels. They're usually nearly always carried in a ready rod bag, so that's taken care of. Your nets are in a stink bag, and then you've got a carry-all or a bait bag that's got all your bait in and might have a few hook lengths and that sort of thing. In my drawer, I got asked a question about what was probably the most key and most important part of what is in my kit underneath my box in the drawer. That was a little bit of a tough one to answer, but when you look at it closely, there is really only one bit of kit in that drawer that I carry, and that's a box like that. In there is all the little bits and bobs that we use in feeder fishing, i.e. swivels and all that sort of stuff. I'll show you a close-up of this box so you can see what's in it. So I think there's loads of companies that do these sorts of boxes, but there we go. That is the content of mine. Feeder links, when I do use feeder links, they tend to be 40mm long. These are homemade ones, so I'll just carry those in there. In here we've got some protector sleeves. Now these are what I use for, these are the matrix ones obviously, but these are the ones that I use for when you're casting at range with a free running rig, you know, or you've got to cast a lot of weight. They just help protect the line on the cast. So I've got those in two sizes. That's the largest size, and and the smaller size there. In there are just standard matrix snap link swivels, which we use all the time in feeder fishing. In the top corner, just beads. I don't use beads very often, but we sometimes use them as buffers. So we've got a few beads there. In here are the larger matrix snap link swivels. They're the ones that actually go over the top of the protector sleeves. In here it says double there, but it's not, they're triple. These are triple barrel swivels, which can be great for using to stop spin up. If you're fishing double caster or worm, sometimes your hookbait can spin up when you're reeling in really quick, so they can help stop that. And there, or just single swivels. Again, we use them in a rig quite often in feeder fishing. The other bit is rubber stops. I use these all the time on my lighter rigs. These are just for sliding onto the line, and they just stop your feeder right at the knot and act as a buffer as well. Two different sorts there. The black ones are slightly heavier, so if you're casting, I don't know, 50 metres, 40 to 50 metres, you can use those if you're casting a heavier feeder. And if you're casting lighter feeders on a short chuck, then I like to use the light ones, especially in winter. The lighter they can possibly be, then obviously there's less there for the fish to pull. But that is it. That's probably the main bit of kit in my drawer. Right, well that's just kind of touch base with you. A couple of questions. Hopefully it's helped you guys out that have asked those questions. What's coming up? There's loads coming into this channel now. Uploading and putting videos together has never been quicker and easier. People think it takes me a long time. It doesn't. The hardest part for me is to provide content, and that is because I'm in an office Monday to Friday, and when my weekend comes I'm usually in a match, and so I can't kind of always find time to put something together for this channel that's not just the same old thing all the time. So I've got to be honest with you, I've slowed down on the uploads purely because I don't want to just keep turfing videos out for the sake of turfing them out. I can do a video on virtually any subject in my tattle room or whatever, but I don't want it to become mundane now. I want it to kind of be fresh as it can be, with new and interesting topics that you guys want to see. So that's the reason why it's been a little bit quieter than normal, but there's loads coming. I've got loads on the laptop already that just need editing, putting together and uploading. So please, if you haven't already subscribed, just click subscribe and you'll get all the uploads of that when it comes. So what have I been up to if I haven't been uploading? I haven't been in any matches at all. I left this period free from matches just purely because I could catch up on work, sort my tattle room out. But I also was aware that in 3 weeks time I've got the biggest match of my year coming up. So this has really just been about prep, i.e. hook lens, sorting my rods out, my kit, everything for this event. It's not an event I can talk about at this stage, but you will get to hear about it after the event. So I've just been prepping like mad. Another thing I'll be sorting out this week as well is the World Pairs. Entry is open. If you're not aware of it, I'll put the link below for you. If you want to fish this year's World Pairs in Ireland in September, that is open for entry now. I think it's £100 per pair deposit just to register your place, and all the information you might want to know about that. I know a lot of you have expressed an interest in that. It's obviously a pairs event, so you know you might want to find a partner and get yourself over there. It's probably the best festival of the year. I'll put the link below for you, and I'll be sorting that out for me and Richie Hull, who will be fishing it again this year. We can't wait to get back there, and hopefully we're going to get a framing position and do even better if we can this year. And on that note, I've just got to say massive congratulations to Big Richie Hull, my partner for the World Pairs. Whilst I was over in Holland, he actually won the Fishermania qualifier at Larford Lakes and qualified for the final. Fantastic, mate, absolutely over the moon for you. Huge congratulations, and hopefully if I'm available that day I will definitely be there on the bank to watch you compete, mate. Well done, pal, brilliant performance. So what's coming up for the rest of the year? Obviously Feeder Masters is underway. The Super League, which is the team match, that's just fished. They've just fished the second round of that, and that looks like it's in full swing, and the competition looks as fierce as ever. There's the Feeder Masters individual competition going on as well. I've only got 3 tickets for that. I got 2 tickets originally, and then I got kindly offered by some of the subscribers 2, 3, 4 more tickets. Unfortunately, when I found out I didn't have the tickets, I actually filled a lot of those dates up, so I wasn't able to fish them. But thank you so much for the offer of those tickets. I've only got 3 tickets. I've got Carmill, I've got Ferry Meadows, and I've got the River Trent. And you know, obviously, if there's anybody out there that wants to get rid of any tickets, just drop me a mail. You know, I'll transfer the money straight away for you. If it's a local venue to me in Sheffield, then that's fantastic. But if anyone's having trouble getting rid of them, just let me know. If I can't take them, then you know, as you can imagine, I can just about point in the right direction of somebody who does want to buy a ticket off you. Also coming up, we've got the Bow Beach International Feeder Festival, which is a 3-day competition down at the fantastic Bow Beach. I'm going down there on that. I can't wait to get down there. Obviously I'd love to be there to fish the Feeder Masters final as well, but obviously that will depend on qualification. But this festival is a festival in its own right. It's 3-dayer. Really looking forward to that. Some invited anglers from Europe fishing there as well, so that should be a really nice mix of anglers. So that's coming up. And I've got the Lawford Feeder Championship as well, which takes place in October. That's a 3-day competition midweek. Like I say, it's October, so it'll be a lot cooler then as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you are interested in that or want to know more about that competition, there are still places available. Link is below for you as always. So if you're new to this channel, this has really been a Thursday night vlog. These are going to be happening every Thursday now. Now I know how much people want them. These are easier for me to do than the ones on the bank, and it's amazing how many people prefer this to some of the bank stuff, just purely because they're not on Facebook, they're not connected through social media, and this is really the only way that they can get to hear about the matches that I'm fishing and the people that I'm fishing the matches with and how they're fishing and all that sort of stuff. So if you haven't subscribed already, click subscribe and you'll never miss one. Another super quick update for you, but that's it. It's Thursday night, Friday tomorrow. We've got a bank holiday, 3-day weekend coming up. Hopefully I might see some of you on the bank. I'll be out and about doing a bit of prep, a bit of coaching, and a bit of just getting out on the bank with my rods and just putting my kit through its paces again, and just kind of just working with some of the new products that we've got coming out from Matrix and some of the baits we've got from Bait Tech. So thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you enjoy videos like this, please click like, click share, and if you do want to see more videos like this and you want to be kept in the loop with all the future videos, whether they're on the bank, the live match stuff, just anything, it's more of a magazine channel now. Just click subscribe in that bottom corner or underneath, and that way you'll be notified of every single upload that there is, and there's loads more coming. This is about 185 videos now, and there's loads more coming. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend, and hopefully this sunshine is going to continue so you can all enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.